This is Michelle Martin with the Bamboo Project, and today I'm going to do a quick screencast on the evolution of a blog post. One of the things that I find is that new bloggers aren't really sure how all of the pieces of blogging fit together. How do you get an idea for a blog post? How do you decide about whether or not to comment on someone else's post versus writing your own post? What happens after you write a post? How do you deal with comments that you might get and all of those sorts of things? So I thought it would be helpful to share the evolution of a post and show the process that I went through recently in not only writing a post, but also some of the follow-up that occurred once I put the post together. So you'll see that this whole thing began a few days ago in NetVibes, which is my feed reader. And I ran across an article or a blog post called "Does Blogging Substitute Real Action?" It's by Perla Nye, who was writing a guest post for Tactical Philanthropy. So I clicked through to the post and read through it, had a lot of really interesting ideas that I agreed with and also felt like I wanted to build on. So at that point I had a couple of options. I could just comment on the post and let Perla know what I thought about it, or I could go over and write a response post of my own. In this case, I felt like I had more to say than what I wanted to put into comments, so I decided to go ahead and write my own post. And so I created a response called "Does blogging replace action? Sometimes it is the action." And in that post, I basically built on the ideas that Perla had started with, and explained that I felt like they could be extended even further than she had suggested in her post. So I wrote my post in Typepad, which is my blogging platform, and I published it on my blog. I would say within a couple of hours I started to get some comments back. So, and you can see that there are actually quite a few comments on this post. One of the comments was from Sean Stannard Stockton, who actually had posted Perla's post over at the blog Tactical Philanthropy. And Sean suggested that it might be a good idea for me to leave a comment for Perla, which, if I had thought about it, I should have done at the beginning, but I was so excited to write my own post, I went over and wrote my post in response. So after reading Sean's comment, I went back over to Perla's post and left my own comment saying that I thought it was a great post and that I had extended the ideas over on my own blog, leaving a link to the blog post that I had written. You'll also see in here that there are a few places where I responded in comments to the comments that other people made. Here, for example, is a response to Glenn and Lisa, both of whom had left comments for me, which is something that most bloggers do, is to participate in the conversations in comments. And I try very hard to do that, although I admit that I'm not always successful with that. Now, everything might have sort of ended here, except for one other piece of information, which I think is also something a lot of bloggers do. And that is, I've set up for myself a Google alert, a vanity alert for my name. So every time my name appears on the web, in a blog or news story or whatever, I will get an email letting me know that that's the case. And so this morning, I got a Google alert letting me know that Lisa Junker of Acronym had written a post called "The Blogging State of Mind," in which she had referenced this post back here that I had written. So that gave me a chance to see how Lisa was extending the conversation beyond what Perla and I had already done, and she was adding some of her ideas in about how important she thought blogging was and how blogging was a form of action for her as well. I then read Lisa's post and made my own comment, and I see since I did that, Sean came over and left some comments too. So you can see that that's really sort of how posting and commenting and all of those things work together to expand knowledge and extend our thinking about a particular topic. It really started with me seeing Perla's post in NetVibes. Actually, it started with Perla posting her post. Then me seeing it in NetVibes, I wrote my own post and posted that on my blog. I also went back over to Perla's post and left my own comment on her post, letting her know what I thought about the post and that I had posted on my blog about that. And then I was also able to see an additional extension of the conversation over at my in my Google Alerts when I got that in my email and could see that Lisa had written another blog post related to this on Acronym. So that just gives you a little flavor of how the evolution of a post and how all of these things connect together. I hope this was helpful. This is Michelle Martin with the Bamboo Project.